Hey Internet, today is National Fast Food Day because we're all a bunch of lazy fatties. But in reality, it's a pretty big industry, so most people aren't going to have any problem with celebrating today. But I'd rather not fund that industry. I can make my own fast food. In fact, how does some Little Caesars Crazy Bread and a Wendy's Frosty sound?
Alright, this is all we need. Now let's get into these recipes. First you want to lay out your pizza dough, and then you're going to go ahead and cut that in half. And you want to cut that piece in half again. And you want to cut those pieces in half again. You want to try your best not to stretch out this dough at all. Alright, now go ahead and lay those strips on a greased cookie sheet, and since the tube of crust I got was thin crust, I went ahead and folded them in half so that they're a bit thicker, but you're going to want to bake these for 7 minutes at 425. And while that's baking, I'm going to pop some butter in a bowl and microwave that on high for 20 seconds. Now once that melts down, it took about 50 seconds for me, you're going to want to add in your garlic salt and stir that up until that all dissolves. Now that those are done, you want to take that mixture you just made and start brushing it on each one of those. And finish those off by sprinkling on some of that Parmesan cheese. Now that those are done, it's on to the next one, and I've got my ice cream in my blender. Just going to go ahead and add in some milk and some of that Nesquik drink mix. Alright, pop the top on. I'm just going to blend it on medium until everything's nicely smooth. You might have to push that down a little bit every once in a while to make sure everything's mixed up.
Now that may not have been as fast as Little Caesars or Wendy's, but that was pretty dang easy in my book. Now it's time to give it a chomp, and I'm going to start off with the old Frosty, because with my record with frozen things, this will be melted before I'm done, as it is starting to melt. That almost does taste like a Frosty. Obviously, it wouldn't be all melty, it'd still be frosty, but it's still pretty thick when you first put it in your cup. But it just has that light chocolate flavor to it. That's pretty accurate right there. I'd say that's a great Frosty knockoff. And now for the Crazy Bread. Some of those pieces did look pretty crazy because I had to fold them over, but if I were you, I wouldn't get the thin crust. Even if it is closer to the ounces that they called for in the recipe, go with a thicker crust. It'll be a lot easier to deal with, and it won't look weird. I mean, unless, of course, you want some overly crazy bread. But enough talking. Time to chomp. That is very accurate. That tastes just like crazy bread. Very simple to make. What was that, like 7 minutes? Bake time? That's pretty good. If you want to make either of these fast food treats, then the recipe links are down below. And don't be afraid to try out some of the other fast food clone recipes on that site. But before you go, always remember that when there is fast food involved, there will also be a calorie burner link down there too. Like, comment, and subscribe.